That's crazy, Jacob, thinking that the yes movement's bigger than the yeet movement. That's funny.
He's young. He's just a boy.
That's that peak 2016 to 2019 WWE watching, getting to him. He's like, nothing's better than that. No yeet. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Growing Up Kayfabe. We are the Yes and No, the Yeet and No Yeet of Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Joe. And this is my co-host, Darnell.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Yeet.
Don't ever take me serious if I say that shit. Please don't.
That means it's going to be
terribly wrong with you.
That means it's going to be a silly goose time. You hear Darnell say something like that, you're like, oh, time for a silly goose time. The week of wrestling this week has actually been very, very, very interesting. I mean, where to even start besides wanting to start right at Monday Night Raw with the Liv Morgan Becky Lynch match and the kiss that makes me sick to my stomach. You whore, you Jezebel, you harlot. I hope Dominic's wife comes down there and beats your ass.
The most she's gonna do is pout at home.
Yeah. How dare you put Dom in a bad position? Also, Dom, look at all these bad bitches that want you, bro. You made a mistake. You're a good guy, but you made a mistake. I've never seen Dom's. I think I've seen like one picture of them together. I think so. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Rhea, Liv Morgan, and half the other locker rooms probably like way hotter, if I had to guess.
Nah, I'd rather do what Dom did than fucking be with somebody who wrestles too.
Wrestling bitches are wild.
The only bad thing is the scheduling, with the conflict of this man is always on the road, and she's just at work or at home, so he only goes home like during the weekends, really, unless they have that international shit.
And the possibility of now, you know, he's the one who is in this situation, but now your significant other also being put into like an on-screen relationship with somebody else that's gotta suck to deal with. I don't think it's ever gone fully well for a couple before.
They've been good. It's just the one time it's been like seriously fucking bad. It was between fucking Edge and Matt Hardy.
That was the worst one for sure.
That was real life. Fucking, and then Vince was like, "Oh, this is storyline," yeah. And it's just like, you asshole. Why would you do this?
And shouts out to not like Vince, right, but to Matt and Edge, who somehow still gave us like 5-star matches. I mean, not even somehow, they did it because they hated each other. But like I feel like any other wrestlers, especially from like an older time, would have stormed out, said, "I'm not doing this," something. But they were like, "All right, I'll stay professional, I'll do it. But when I get in there, I'm going to beat his ass." It honestly makes the match at SummerSlam that they had together that had to get stopped because Matt accidentally banged his head against the pole and got busted open, and he had to get taken out on a stretcher. It honestly makes that match even crazier because it's like, you know, they tell the story, they're like, "Oh, you know, accidents happen." And that's most likely what happened. Or did it? Or did Edge fucking go? Did Edge go off script and say, "Get off me," and then Matt Hardy didn't know what to do and fucking banged his head against the pole? I don't know.
I think nothing. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. He gives a shit.
It's in the past.
Lita's single and depressed and sad. Meanwhile, Matt and Edge are married with children.
That's so funny.
Look at that. Look at God work.
Lita, you whore. You whore.
You just need to put in just the entire compilation of John Cena going off on Lita for no reason at all.
Yeah.
There's no reason behind it. This man just called her everything under the sun just because he could. It's just like, damn, bro. Ruthless.
I was just going to bring that up. To be like, there was that time where it was everybody. It was John, Jericho, anybody who was good on the mic. And if Lita was out there, she was getting called a slut. She was going to get made fun of. Just how it was. But it's because of like, as a kid, I didn't know that shit was going on behind the scenes. You know, character-wise, I knew she was kind of a whore, but also knew she was a badass wrestler. So it's like, at that time, like the adults who like knew the real drama were probably like, yeah, that explains why everybody was so happy when everybody was calling her a slut and everything. Because you're like, yeah, because fuck you. You fucking fucked around way too much. And you fucked over Matt Hardy so hard.
And it's crazy. It's I was lonely because you were hurt, bitch. Be home with me. What do you
Insane
mean?
to say. Yeah. Instead, went on the road with fucking Edge every day. Yeah. Crazy. But what a great match between Becky and Liv. Honestly, again, Becky. Okay, so it was a good match, but I have to pick on it and say, like, did feel like, you know, phoning it in. That's what it looked like to me. Really phoning that shit in. Which isn't good because Liv truly does need somebody, in my opinion, with how much I'm not a big fan of, like, the way Liv wrestles. I like it when she has somebody strong to work with. So, like, when she wrestles Rhea, it's really good. When she wrestled Becky originally, it was really good. And then she got manhandle slammed and called it a day. But something about this match lacked, but Liv did pick up, and I think we were all just waiting for Dom to run in anyway. We were like, let's get to that part where Dom's obviously going to come out here and interfere in the match somehow. And he did.
The thing is, he actually didn't. None of the what happened wasn't even his fault.
Yeah.
That was JD fucking running out there like that. And this Looney Tunes ass fucking all night long running bit.
Oh, you must be talking about that Funko Pop, JD McDonough.
And fucking Braun Strowman just barreling through Dom to hit the fucking door. It's like it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
He was just there.
Time. Wrong place, wrong time.
He's there to show support to Becky.
Yeah.
And then Braun Strowman just said, "Fuck you, nerd, you're in the way."
Get out of my way.
Kind of shoved him into a locker room.
Yeah. Becky sold that cage hit too. When it hit her, look. I mean, honestly though, you're getting like a matched force of like Braun Strowman running into Dom, then running. It's just you're getting that same wave of strength into the cage push. So that shit probably did hurt a little bit. But yeah, I don't think that. First of all, I just love anytime they have like a Judgment Day or Finn Balor when they catch them talking, like their voices just like doing like the off camera talking at each other. I love catching Finn Balor going like, you know what, man, do what you want, do it, like having the bro moment of like, we're done trying to help you with this, you do what you want. And then and that's when Braun wrecks his ass. But yeah, I don't think, and I could be wrong because they had an on-screen thing for a while, I don't think Rhea's ever kissed him on the lips like that. And I feel like that's out of respect for both their partners.
Yeah, no, they never did anything like that. The most sexualized thing they ever did was when she was basically courting him into the Judgment Day, and she was always choking his ass out. And then I interviewed like jokingly, he's like, "Yeah, that did something to me." And it was just like, "You fucking idiot."
Hell yeah, doggy. Yeah, so you know, I don't appreciate that, but obviously it's the way it was supposed to go. So, but I don't appreciate it. You show some respect to that man. He's got a wife, and you show some respect. Just because you're single now, Liv Morgan, doesn't mean you just get to go around planting full kisses on people.
I mean, that's exactly what it means. Single women love to fuck shit up for no reason.
Rude.
It's just like, why? Why would you fuck up my situation?
They do. They love to do that. That's all I really wanted to talk about from Monday Night Raw. I know Monday Night Raw had a good show otherwise. More escalation. Another week where we had to build for the Otis Alpha Academy, Sammy, whole thing going on. I mean, where do you think that's going to go?
Sami Zayn.
For Sami Zayn, mind your business. Mind your business, Sami Zayn.
This is the second group you're going to break up because you just decide you want to be involved in shit. Just shut the fuck up. Defend the belt you shouldn't have. Well, it'll be Gucci, bro. But nah. You gotta be a fuck.
Coach Gable is trying to escalate that team to a new level, and you think you're just gonna save them from what? Wins? From W's? I don't think so.
What's crazy is fucking Maxine legit has not. I don't think she's wrestled since the Women's Royal Rumble. No, I think she had one match after the Women's Royal Rumble. I think she lost that too.
Yeah, she's wrestled a few weeks ago after this whole heel turn happened, and it didn't work again. Braun Breaker does it again. The clips of Braun Breaker that everybody was recording him in the audience doing that crawl to the ring just to fuck up Ricochet again. Listen, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Ospreay had a point. Fucking, that is some fuck shit to do, to bring Ricochet on TV again, just to have him do this like great moment of like, give me Braun Breaker now. I'm like, yeah, give him Braun Breaker. Let's fucking go. Let's make the Braun's not here. I suspended him. He's gonna listen to me just for Braun to show up and be a menace again. It's cool for Braun. Looks awesome on Braun. Fucking sucks for Ricochet.
They are just treating him like a mid-carder who's there just to put everybody else over.
Yeah, because
he's literally the Natalia of the men's.
Good point. Good
It's
comparison.
like, I'm here to make you look good, bro. That's it.
And he's so good at that is the problem. He's one of those guys who are like, well, you're so good in your position. We can't really lose you. You're too valuable to promote. Yeah, it's annoying.
Yep. And now he has a belt that doesn't matter. He can't even bring it on TV. And then they're just like, hey, Jordan Grace from a whole nother organization. Bring the belt too.
Bring
it's
the
like, what?
Yeah.
But what?
I was gonna say, like,
okay,
if he goes into a program with Braun Breaker, you think they're gonna let Ricochet win that program? Like, no, he's gonna put over Braun Breaker. And it's like, same for this whole Ilya thing. Like, Ilya's, of course, he put over. Ricochet won that match against Ilya, I think, actually, which was interesting. But yeah, I think so, right? Because isn't Ilya the one who's been wanting to run it back, or maybe that was Ricochet? It was
Ilya lost to Jay. That's why, because he beat Ricochet, and then I think he lost to Jay.
To Jay, that's what it is. All right, yeah. But yeah, no, and I mean, even that's the thing. Like, even if he goes against Ilya, I mean, that wouldn't even matter. So, like, what's a program that matters? Him versus Braun, because all the shit that's going on, and it's like they're just going to do a crazy match where it's a bunch of power versus high flyer, which is always fun, and then eventually Braun's going to win, and then they're going to move on from that program to set Braun up for something else, and that sucks.
Yeah, there is nothing else for him. That's why you have Ricochet win, and you have an actual couple week long feud. You put it on a pay-per-view. You have fun with it.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and then afterwards, at the end, for sure, Braun, they're going to choose to put Braun over.
We ain't got to.
We don't.
We don't keep letting him rampage.
That'd be great.
Just every time he loses, he just gets a little bit more unhinged.
Yeah, loses. He has all these big run-ins. Beats up Ricochet leading up to the pay-per-view. Loses to him in the pay-per-view. Then comes into his next match like, now this shit, and then fucking.
Where they should go with it is he just ends up beating the dog shit out of Ricochet. And then his old tag team partner comes out.
Yes.
Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah.
And then he hits him with the unnecessary classic. Why don't you pick up somebody your own size? It's like, bitch, I gotta look up at you. What are you talking about?
This is not the same. Let's talk about Tuesday, because finally, NXT coming around. The biggest pop, the biggest craziest thing that happened the whole night was Jordan Grace coming over and being announced as the next opponent for the Battlegrounds for the NXT title against Roxanne Perez. I didn't see it coming. Now, here's the thing. I'm so excited about it. I'm like, awesome, Jordan Grace. We're gonna get to see a full match in NXT. They're talking about, like, does this mean that Roxanne's gonna go over to TNA to go after your title at some point? Which they're totally saying that's totally possible. They're trying to do more collabs like that anyway. But here's the thing. I mean, is Jordan Grace really going to win the title? Probably not. I mean, will they really? I would love it if that happened. That's what I want, Jordan Grace to come in and hold both these titles. But do you think WWE is really, really going to do that?
I mean, it'd be great for kind of like an Invasion 2.0.
Yeah.
Where, like, just the TNA people are just coming over and just dog walking everybody. And eventually, I'm like, all right, then they send somebody over there. And then it could potentially end up great, but it probably not, because if we do that, then we're just clearly dipping back into we don't have any ideas.
Yeah.
So then it just wouldn't be that good.
And the problem, like how they ran into with the Monday Night Wars with WCW, what happens is, like, you end up squashing all those wrestlers. You squash the promotion. So if, just like how it happened back then, WCW, after they lost the Monday Night Wars, they still had the show, but the show sucked because they just spent months getting beat up by WWE guys. So it didn't matter. They lost all credibility. And you could do that to for sure. They would, if you think WWE would write this.
WCW was already dying before the before the invasion thing, because the whole invasion thing, they Shane bought WCW. Yeah. So then, like, right after that shit was over, WCW ended, and then they all went into WWE.
Yeah, and you're right. That is
their
the point.
Contracts weren't shit.
And you're right. That is actually what happened, and that is what I mean. Once they got there, once those guys got there, they didn't have any credibility because they, like I said, same thing. They just got beat up for months being a low class WCW guy. That is exactly what happened.
WCW and ECW were beating their ass for weeks. Like, they were actually going to Raw and beating them up, and then it took Stone Cold to come in there and fucking one shot everybody.
I will find
into the what do you call it? Into the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I will find the Amy episode that I watched very recently of them talking exactly about what happened here, where leading into that pay-per-view, they spent weeks getting beat up because Stone Cold was around and everything. They were losing the Monday Night Wars going into that. Then they lost fully, and then, like you said, everybody came in. All those WCW guys came to WWF, and once they were there, then again, like I said, so like you wouldn't be able to name them because, like, even at the Amy video, they're just like showing guys, and I'm like, I've never seen that guy before. I was like, I've literally never seen some of these guys that he was showing, and I'm like, he was like, yeah, it's because they were on WCW and they were decent guys, but then they came over here and there was like, who the fuck? I think I've seen this guy get beat up before, but that's it. The main point is that that's what I feel is the biggest risk when it comes to doing this invasion thing, is that, like, you can have these TNA guys, but you have to write it in a way that everybody can win in the end with, like, popularity. You don't want to make it seem like TNA wrestlers aren't great, and they're not doing that so far. So far, we think TNA fucking, again, in a kayfabe mentality, you think that TNA is awesome. Like, Jordynne Grace can beat up more than half of our locker room of women, and that's a fact. So in kayfabe mentality, if they started having TNA guys come over and vice versa, and they just start losing, I just don't want, because I like TNA and I like the promotion and I would like the collab to happen, but I think you stop the collab if you do the invasion and then we win. I think that would fuck it up. But if we lose, then we fucked up. I don't know what to do.
Let the company burn.
Just let it ride. I say honestly, take more risks. I agree. I say take more, because you won't know until we try. We won't know, and it seems worth it. That'd make big money. Like, isn't Matt Hardy in TNA right now? He re-signed to TNA, didn't he?
I don't think he signed to them. I think he's just over there because he's still waiting for his contract with AEW to be up.
That's right. I know.
And obviously AEW and TNA, and they don't give a fuck. They're just like, hey, yeah, we'll take, if you want a match over here, all right, cool. We don't have to jump through any fucking hoops.
Because that would be even crazier. I know they're talking about Jeff's contract is up soon at AEW as well, and so they're both saying that they might want to go wherever they go next. They probably want to go together. So I'm like, I don't want you guys in WWE, but you should go to TNA because I'd be sick. Do TNA stuff, and then the collabs afterwards would be so crazy. The Hardy Bros coming over, and they'd be like, "From TNA, it's the Hardy Bros." And you'd be like, "Yeah." There's a lot of old wrestlers that are over there on TNA. Then old, I mean, in the sense of
they're old, retired. Fuck out.
They won't. You can't make them do what they don't want to do.
Dreamer. Don't be Tommy Dreamer and just get super fat.
I saw Tommy Dreamer on the Busted Open Pod. I saw his face. I swear to God, my first reaction was, I go, "Who the fuck is that guy?" I was like, why do I know that face? Oh my God, it's Tommy Dreamer.
Yep. Bro just said, fuck it, I'm done wrestling. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah. But otherwise, again, put some respect on Trick's name, bro. I don't know. They're just doing stuff with him at this point. And I don't know this AEW guy. I'll say it right now. I don't know this guy they brought over. This next guy that's going to be the thing with Trick. I don't know, and everybody's losing their mind. And I do like the little thing at the end of it. The guy comes in, and I think that commentator's name is Vince. I think is his first name. But the other guy that commentates with Booker, he's like, "Book, that's so and so from A." And Book goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." I'm like, that was funny. That was scripted. That's funny.
Yeah, I'd say everybody knew who he was, so they wouldn't have brought him in like that if nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Yeah. Am I interested in the fight? Yeah, because I mean, sure, I'm interested in whatever Trick does and whatever, but I just feel like a lot of Just throwing Trick around to do random stuff right now. But also, I'm starting to understand the what's his name? We just got him a little bit ago. He was on NXT before and he just came back. Sean Pierce, I want to say his name is. Dude who's been doing a lot of storylines of like I need to show you your rage. I need to let it. And he's finally just
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like he's finally explaining his character more where it's just like he's basically seeing people with potential, and in real life terms and non-kayfabe terms, he's trying to have 5-star matches with guys that he thinks are like really, really good, and he wants to display to people that they are actually that good, and then they'll just move on. And I'm like, that's actually a really cool character concept, to just say that you just want to have matches with up and comers, but like do it in a kayfabe way where you're like, these guys don't see their potential, I must show them the way. And I'm like, yeah, you will. Go ahead.
He sucks.
Well,
no, I don't know. It's really smart. It's just like, hey, they just took the whole you're a mid carder. Hey, we need you to make people look good, and turn it into a character.
Awesome. And then what I was gonna say, you know who doesn't suck? Michin in the OC. We're gonna get to a second part of their performance, but the OC on NXT, better and better every week, to the point where I'm like, yes, I want them as NXT champions, and I want them as NXT champions for at least a few months. Very impressive.
It just sucks that they have to move them down.
I know. Yeah.
For them to get any shine. It's like, that sucks for sure.
Yeah. First week, a little shaky. I would say probably them a little upset about having to get moved down, but then fully understanding that I'm like, look, guys, you can run this fucking show. You can be the tag team that runs this place. Your mic skills by default, like when they're up in the big leagues, their mic skills are like somewhere in the middle, somewhere. But when they're down at NXT, they dog people down there, dude. It's so funny. They got the Bullet Club thing, which immediately fucking connects with everybody. They're over with me. And Michin too. I'm happy Michin's, again, it sucks, like you said, it sucks that they all had to go down, but hey, if they're gonna get their shine, that's all I care about. I love seeing Michin wrestle, and she's so fucking good. I didn't like the whole sexy red thing, but you know, it's okay.
Nobody really asked for that shit, honestly. And it's crazy that the entire time they're just like, oh yeah, her album came out last week, and it's like, is this what this is about?
Is this what's about?
She said, I want to promote my album on NXT. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to have you host Battleground. And it's like, wait, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do such a thing?
When I was watching that, I paused right because the way she did the announcement, she goes, yes, I will be the guest host of NXT Battlegrounds. And I paused it and I looked at Reese and I said, no wrestling mic skills. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, bitch? Can't read.
No, anything.
I'll say this. One credit I'll give her is that she did well of being like a non-verbal like manager to Trick and I don't remember the other guy's name.
Javon Evans.
Yes. She did a real good job of being like just like the diva for them. Come on, boys, let's go. And then like checking her face, like she did good at like the business, as they would call it in acting. She has great business. She does a lot of like stuff like playing to the camera with the camera not even being there. So she did great at that. I was noticing that a lot. But everything else sucked that she did. And if your one asset is your ass, I mean, hey, if Lola Vice's one asset is her ass, just use it. Just use it. It's Naomi's finisher. Her ass.
Naomi, Jada, I think it's somebody else too, where they just kind of sit on people.
Yeah. Well,
and it's just like, okay, bro. And it even makes it funnier for when Zoe Stark was like, what's with all these women using their ass for their finishers?
That's right.
And it's like, yeah, why is that? Looks at Shawn Michaels accusingly.
Naomi's is the one I hear complained about the most because it doesn't, it's like very like Jada Parker, although when like she's using her ass, like she is running full speed at you, full speed and essentially hip checking you. So it's still looks like it would hurt like a motherfucker to take. Nia's squashing you with her ass, so like, yeah, obviously. And then Naomi, you're just running into her ass at your own pace. So, but who did she wrestle with? Bailey. She wrestled this Friday. She wrestled against I
didn't even bother watching SmackDown. I was tapped.
Well, do I got? And they wrestled against. I want to say it was against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Yeah, it was, and she did the. But it's just Chelsea Green. She did that move, the rear end to Chelsea Green, and Chelsea Green sold it. I go, God damn, that looked like it hurt. I was like, holy fuck, that's the first time I've ever seen the rear end or rear view. That's what it's called, the rear view, and somebody looked like it actually hurt. Because Chelsea Green. Shouts out Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, as she would be called.
I still hate that. That's how she gets her name announced.
Only by.
It just sounds annoying.
Only by Samantha. Only by Samantha.
No, and it's just like, ugh. Why'd you do that?
Everybody else does it normal, and she prefers that everybody else does it normal, but she wants Samantha to do it like that. But I mean, if you see in the clip, that was Samantha just making that up, and then Chelsea loved it, and I was like, yeah. I like it. I'm a fan of it. I think it adds to her character, but yeah, because yeah, it is annoying. She's supposed to be an annoying brat, and that's like kind of the point. I'm not gonna. I at one point in this episode wanted to talk about the AEW shit, but as I say, I respond to AEW shit on Twitter when I see them shitting on WWE stuff.
Just don't.
I'm going to anyway.
Just look at it and keep scrolling.
I'm going to anyway. You can say that all you want. I'm going to anyway.
Why do you want to keep fighting for no reason?
Because I can, and because I will, and because I have the fight. I got that dog in me.
You don't.
I got that dog.
If you had that dog, bro, you would just be like, damn, that's crazy. Keep it pushing.
Nah, because
now you're just wasting. Now you're getting your heart rate up for no reason. Because some nerd called your nerd stuff stupid. It's like, who cares? It's all stupid. Why do you enjoy conflict?
Because it's in me. Because it's in me, dog. It's in me, dog, and the dog is in me. Because it's what it is I just don't appreciate. Also, I just don't understand the concept of like, when we see Io Sky put a trash can over her head and dive into everybody else, we don't repost it and go like, ain't nobody doing shit like this. Can't no company fucking copy this shit. And I'm like, we just lose our mind over it. And then Edge does a shittiest elbow drop off of a cage that fucking sucked and broke his goddamn leg. And everybody's like, motherfuckers ain't hardcore like this anymore. Y'all motherfuckers didn't want to let him do this shit, and that's why we got him. I'm like, he fucking broke his leg, and some guy almost died that night. You guys suck. And everybody's delusional. That's what it is. I don't like delusion. I think people are delusional. And you're right. Those are the worst people to argue with, but it is what it is. Luckily I just throw out my 2 cents and I keep it pushing. I throw out my 2 cents and I keep it pushing, which pisses them off more because they're waiting for an argument. And I'm like, nah, dog, you can just sit with what I said and just understand that you sipping that copium real fucking hard. That you think your product's that good. Your product's good. What makes your product shit is you, the people that support your product, and the guy who runs your product. That's what makes your product dog shit. But that's neither here nor there. Friday Night SmackDown happened. Darnell didn't see it, but it was. So here's the thing: the forwarding. When people talked about afterwards, when the Bloodline was going away, and they were saying like how this is, no matter what, still
going to. A girl.
God damn it! This is going to be the best storyline still going forward, even after Cody wins the title. And they were right. The Bloodline storyline is probably going to go down in history as the best story in WWE writing. It's so good right now. And Paul Heyman has to play a scared character, and still every time he comes out, he has to be like, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And then he goes back to
Duke of Arrakis. All right.
Rocking in your head today hard. The main thing I wanted to talk about on Friday Night SmackDown was one of the greatest pieces of cinema I have seen since The Rock and Cody and Roman and Cody. AJ's possible retirement that ended up not being a retirement. Boy, howdy, was that good. So let me.
You mean what the world's strongest man did?
Yes, yeah, I
Like
love that
almost
clip.
20,000 years ago now.
I'm gonna have to dust off my, what was it, the pink suit? He's gonna have to dust off the powder blue suit. That's that was funny. Yeah, no, it was great. And so he, they're teasing it all night, all this shit, and I'm sitting there telling Reese, I'm like doing math in my head. I'm like, nah, he can't retire right now. I was like, he definitely has time for another big match. He definitely has time for another run for something. There's no way I was like, he just did a rant. And I was like, he's not going to go out like that. And they're really selling it. They're like, this is the end for him. And they're doing all these fucking pictures throughout the night. Tonight, AJ addresses his future, and it's got past photos of AJ. And I fucked myself over because Reese is just like, what's the big deal? And I had to explain it to her. And I go, you don't understand TNA wrestling. Me and Darnell talk about this all the time, man. Like, it's just, you don't talk about TNA without talking about AJ Styles. And he goes out there and cuts the promo for his retirement. And the second he said he wants Cody to come out, I go, oh, well, he ain't retiring. There's no way he's going to have Cody Rhodes out there for his fucking retirement. And I swear to you, I was crying. I started to cry. But the more I started to believe it, I started to cry. And they did the Bullet Club thing. And I pause it, and that was my other mistake. I kept pausing. I tell Reese, I'm like, you don't understand, like, everything they've been through in the OC, and then they were all in the Bullet Club, which was riddled with betrayal, and somehow they're here together in the future at the same company. They just put on a fucking barn burner in France, and you don't get it, man. Like, it's so crazy to see him go. And in the middle of me crying, I'm literally tears streaming down my face. My face is wet. Fucking clotheslines him. I'm like, dude, I sat up against. I was like, you son of a bitch, you piece of shit. I was like, you goddamn asshole. Why would you do that to me? Don't play with my emotions like that. I'm an emotional man. You can't do that to me, AJ Styles. This is the house that AJ Styles built, and we all said it with him. And then he goes, I'm handing you the keys. And I'm like, oh, no.
I'm like, hey, nerd, last time I checked, I already had the keys. So go back to your old home. Go challenge that big black bitch named Moose for that TNA belt. How about that?
There you go.
Fucking nerd.
That would be great for AJ Styles to make a TNA return. That's what he should do to end his career. Go do one more run in TNA. Fucking go back home. Yeah, you're right. That'd be awesome. So here's the thing about it. Here's what I was thinking. I was playing with this thing in my head, and I go, I hate that. So right immediately I was like, I hate that, because you shouldn't play with retirement like that. You can. It doesn't mean you can't, obviously, but in my opinion, I don't think you should play with it like that, because it's like, then it makes when you actually retire less of an emotional moment, because you already did it up real big. We already fucking cried, and now we don't know if you're really going to retire or not. But I think AJ Styles just made the biggest heel move of all time. I know Mark Henry, but I think his when he did it was bigger than Mark Henry, and I think it made him an even bigger heel that he is now and than Mark Henry was at that time. Like, people are going to hate AJ Styles with a passion, and the OC, give him a goddamn Oscar. The acting that they put on just for them to, like, the camera didn't even focus on them, just for them to be at the side of the ring, just laughing, like they're like, can you believe these idiots fucking believed us? And I'm like, that's so good. I think he just did the biggest heel move of the year.
Nah, that happened in AEW.
Explain yourself.
The House of Black.
Oh yeah.
They came out to look like they were helping Malachi. And then they went to Edge, and he's just like, what the fuck is this? What are you doing? And then they just beat the shit out of Edge. And then he's just like, oh, fuck me. Bro, I thought I just lost everything. Shit.
You thought.
He's about to be out here like Trick. Well, not Trick, but fucking Swerve.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, my whole faction just said fuck me, I guess. All right, fine.
Thought you had a friend, boy. Thought you had a friend.
Not to mention what MJF did. He's just like, oh yeah, all right, I'll come hug you. I'll come nut kick. Get out of my ring. Let me cut this mean promo.
Shouts out.
I'm out.
Shouts out MJF coming out in the Triple H, coming out cutting a mean promo, letting everybody know. Bet on yourself.
No more friendships. No more kangaroo kicks. When he said that shit, I was just like, all right, you got it, bro.
MJF, if you don't give me a kangaroo kick, you motherfucker. I love the kangaroo kick. Let's end this episode. We're talking about
WWE sucks. It's all about AEW. All the wrestling's greatest.
Shut up.
That's right, bitch.
That's where the best wrestle. That's where the best are.
See how emotional he gets about it? Look at him.
I'll cry. Don't you fucking make me. I'll cry right now.
Jesus Christ, don't do that.
Me and Cody got it locked in. We just cry on spot. Who, in your opinion, does the best spear of all time? Who's got the best spear?
Rhino.
When it was
just for the specific reason he said, what's the difference between a gore and a spear? If they kicked out, it was a spear. You don't kick out of the gore, and it's
they don't.
You're gross. You're disgusting. You're despicable.
Oof.
You're a town mayor. How dare you?
Yeah, Rhino is in that category of dudes that if you tell him wrestling's fake, you might end up in the hospital. Fucking psychopath.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Best spear. It used to be Edge. Used to have the greatest spear of all time. God, I have my answer. I just don't want to say it because I fucking hate the answer. It's Goldberg. And Goldberg had the best spear. Because when he would do
spear people, he tackled them.
Yeah, that's the thing. When he did it, his whole body went flying, and it was like, God damn! Like he would launch himself at them, and it always looked. And of course, he would, he'd get up, do the fucking stomp and scream, and yeah, it looked like he split people in half when he did it. And they would always say, "Hey, they just got split in half by Goldberg." Oh my God! Yeah, I hate Goldberg with a passion. He's a fucking old delusional piece of shit. But man, could he hit that spear and that jackhammer? Yeah, there's almost nothing cooler when he's doing that. Does it mean I want him to come back ever just so he can do that on one of my favorite wrestlers and then leave? No, I don't want that. That's crazy. You heard him go off again recently talking shit about, I think he was just talking shit about, I forget exactly specifically what he was talking shit about. He was making some, God, but he was really talking shit about wrestlers and like their ability to actually wrestle. Oh, he was saying shit like,
that's crazy for him to be saying anything about anybody's fucking ability to wrestle.
Yeah, and he was talking
when you got schooled by William Regal on live television. Fuck you mean, bro?
Mm-hmm. He was talking shit about how he thinks wrestlers are weak now. And he like literally not accepting that. I'm like, he just hurts people and he's not good at wrestling and that's his problem. So he was like talking about how like some of these wrestlers, they wouldn't last in the ring with him because he's like, I make it look like I hurt people because I do. And I'm like, why do you think that's a good thing? And then he alludes to the Bret Hart thing where Bret Hart put
on 2-minute rep fucking championship matches on a fucking pay-per-view main event. Shut the fuck up.
And you want to know why?
As hell.
Because fucking if you go any further than those 2 minutes, either it's going to be boring or you're going to hurt yourself or you're going to hurt somebody else. And that's why. Because you can't do it. You can't be trusted. Yeah, he blames Bret Hart for it. He literally gaslights Bret Hart to be like, he broke his own neck. He didn't do the move properly. And I'm like, no, asshole. We've all watched it. You fucked up. You fucked up so hard and you fucked up Bret's neck. Nope. He doesn't think so. To this day, he's like, no. He thinks Bret's a pussy. And he thinks he doesn't know how to take a move. And he thinks that he says that if you're a wrestler and you think that you shouldn't be like taking these hits, then you shouldn't be a wrestler. And I'm like, so you think as a wrestler, you should expect to get your neck broken. And if not, then you're not a good wrestler. He's an absolute delusional piece of shit. But man,
that's why nobody should ever listen to him.
No. Runner up would be Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns hits the spear close better than anybody else. Again, especially it's the presentation with his spear too. So good. Ooh, ah. So good. So good.
Who has the actual best spear is Cody Rhodes. So the one time that he fucking did it.
You know who's got a really good spear? Bobby Lashley, where he cannonballs himself and he rotates over. He's the only guy who does a front flip after he spears. It's dope. Spear, barrel roll. When did Cody hit a spear?
WrestleMania.
Against Roman?
Yep.
Yeah. Sick.
Because they were taking each other's moves.
Yeah.
Because he hit him. Roman hit him with a crossroads and he kicked out. He said, "Yeah, that's that weak ass finisher. Ain't nobody gonna fucking lose to that."
That finisher sucks. Yeah, one of the top lines from a WWE star. Yeah, that finisher sucks. Ain't nobody finishing a fight with that move. Sucks. Shouts out. That's so funny to attack a man's move like that. It's a finisher. Ain't nobody winning a fight with that. Well, guys, you heard it here first. That's our opinions on the show this week. Those are the biggest moments we thought we'd like to talk about. Let us know what you would want us to talk about or what you'd like to talk about down below in the comments. You can also hit us up on our social medias, which are right down there. You can message us directly. You can talk to us there and the videos that we make.
Don't message me directly. I'm gonna send you some rude shit. Just know that. You don't know me.
You can message me directly.
You don't know my life.
Who are you people? We're a fan. Fuck you. Please hit the subscribe button at this channel. Go to our other channel, Super Sour. Go to Pocket Beers. Go to all these other channels that we have. And please like us, follow us, click the bell, do all those things. We appreciate it.
Oh, the click the shit out of it.
And we'll see you guys next week on another episode of Growing Up Kayfabe. Bye.
Peace.